So you guys are welcome back to another video, and in this video we'll be creating this design. I created it for a KDP course on how to earn in dollars through Amazon KDP. So I want to show you guys how you can also create this course and this design. It's a very simple design, and it should be very simple for you to also replicate. The first thing you want to do, as always, is to come to Canva and get your background. So let me just edit and remove this and open a new artboard. The first thing is to change the color of the background to white. Then I want to get a template. The template is a red gradient template. So we're going to search. This is it here. So as you can see, you can search for it on Canva if you want to use it. Just going to select it here. It's under template, so you select it here. Delete all this. I just need the background for something, and I'm going to add a white rectangle. Bring it here, drag it down and drag it here. Also change the color to white. Right, change it to white and bring this a bit so it's okay. I'll lock this in place. Then I would add another rectangle, so also a white rectangle anyway, but because I want to be able to differentiate for now, I'll change it to blue. So after I've enlarged it, I'm just going to add a shadow. So come to elements and search for shadow. So this is the shadow that we'll be using. I'm just going to rotate this and I'll enlarge it so that it perfectly fits on the blue rectangle. So after I've done this, the next thing is just to send it backwards. To send the shadow backwards, send it backwards and reduce the transparency, because you don't want it too pronounced on the design. So I think this is okay. Then we can turn the color of the blue rectangle to white. So turn it to white and you can see how it comes out. But the transparency of the shadow is still too much, so we still need to reduce it a bit. So I think that's okay. The next thing is to add the image of the person. So just come to elements and search for black man holding money. Black man holding money. And if you scroll down, you should be able to see the image there. You should be able to see the image. Let me just see if I can find it quickly. If I can't find it, we'll just select another one, but it should be here if you're using this keyword. So it's something like this, so we can also use this one. Let's just crop it. Yeah, so we'll just bring it downwards, flip it to the left hand side, then you can rotate it if you want, but I think this is okay like this. Then I'll just lock it in place. So once I lock it in place, the next thing is to add my gold seal. So search for gold seal. Gold seal. This is it right here. Reduce the size and bring it up here. So we want to add a text on the gold seal, and that text is what's the text? The text is over 3,000 orders for the course or for the products. So I'm just going to add my text box. Click on text, add text box, and edit the text. So over 3,000 orders. Over 3,000. So we can make this bold, and then we reduce the spacing between it, then increase the size a bit. So we're going to give the text a bit of shadow, something like this. But I also want the text to be bold, so I'm going to change from Poppins medium to Poppins extra bold. So I think that's better. That looks better. The next thing is to add our red rectangle. So change the shade of the red, so give it like a darker shade of red, something like that, and then we'll add the text in the rectangle. So this type of rectangle or square allows you to edit text in it, so you can add text in the rectangle depending on the rectangle you use. So if you just come to your elements and you click on this square here, if you crop it to become a rectangle, you can edit text on it. So edit, I'm going to add an easy way to earn so you guys can see an easy way to earn in dollars. So an easy way to earn in dollars, right? And we are going to change the color of the font to a white color. Then we'll add our main text, so the passive income blueprints with Amazon KDP, that's the main text. Change the alignment to the left hand side, increase the size and make it extra bold. Right, then reduce the spacing between the letters, between the Yes, that looks good. So the next thing is to add our second rectangle. So we can duplicate this one, bring it here, and increase the size. So we'll drag it down, something like this, turn it to white. Well, first let's remove the text that is on it. So edit, remove all this text and turn it to white. So I turned it back to red because I want to see it when I'm editing it and adding a shadow on it. So search for the shadow you want. I'm going to select the shadow, then bring it here, enlarge it and get something like that, then reduce the transparency. Then nudge it upwards, and you can turn the color back to white.
Good evening. Sorry, please.
So the next thing is just to add text on this rectangle here, but since I already have a bullet point text, I'm just going to copy this one. I don't want to type in text again. I'm just going to copy this one and show you guys how you can edit text on that rectangle. So let's paste it here. Click on paste and we'll turn it to black. Right, then we'll give it space and bring it here. So we can remove some of them so we have more space. Can remove some of them, some of the bullet points. So let me just zoom in. I'm going to zoom in and right. Let me bring this here so that I can crop it a bit. Then increase the spacing, increase the line spacing. So you can see this is how you can easily edit text on it. And you can put text on it. I just wanted to show you guys how you can do so. Then for the last one, we can just put something for the text. So I'm just doing this to show you guys how you can do this also, how you can edit text on it. The last thing is to add a pattern on the design and then we are done. And that pattern is called Chinese. The pattern is called Chinese, yellow Chinese pattern background. So you can search for it, yellow Chinese pattern background. And this is it right here. Just going to drag it. Let me zoom out, drag it to enlarge, turn it to red, send it backwards, and we'll add the rectangle. Let me add the rectangle. So bring this rectangle, turn it to white, right? Then enlarge it a bit here, reduce the size and send it backwards. So we'll send it backward, bring it forward. Oh yeah, we'll send it backwards, so we would nudge it downward a bit, but because we want it to show really well, we want it to be distinguished, to be easily spotted and distinguished. So we're going to add a shadow. Just come to, we have used different shadows here, so you can use this shadow and reduce the size, bring it, let's increase the size a bit. Then we can turn it backwards, so send it backwards. So you can see how it looks at the rectangle looks. Now this is the rectangle, right? The next thing is just duplicate this one here and bring it here. Reduce the size a bit, and then that text is gets the course now. I think that's the text, gets the course now. Get the course right now. You can reduce the size and bring it downward a bit. And since the white background is also interfering with our elements, we can't easily see the background, so we're just going to search for, or no need to search, just come to my recently used, and I think I have a white gradient background here, so this is it. Just bring it here and increase the size, send it backwards, and reduce the transparency, so you can see how it looks. Let's bring this one upwards, nudge it upwards, so you can see how it looks, something like this. So that was how I was able to create this design. Sorry about the noise around. The place I am today, there's a bit of noise here, so I just had to record this video for you guys, that's why.